it and make sure everybody gets it. Okay, so go ahead and take it away, Tom.
Cool. Well, I appreciate. Oh, we missing Dean again. I appreciate you guys hopping on. This call is not intended to last very long. However, it is intended to have a little bit of a discussion going into one, next month, starting tomorrow morning, and number two, into the Rumble. Obviously, you know you can press the power button. That launches your 60-day run towards influencer, which I know each and every single one of you guys are reaching for. And what we highly encourage is you guys to all press the button tomorrow. And the reason we say that is because if you wait, let's say you wait the 14 days that you have, all right, you're going to lose those days in June come Vegas time. You know, let's say you arrive in Vegas on Thursday, you're going to be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, leave Monday. That's 5 days of the 60 days you're missing out on if you don't press it May 1st and you wait the 14 days. Next, real quick, we know who Marco is? Hey, Marco, welcome to the call, my friend.
Yeah, Marco's one of DJ's enrollments.
Oh, okay. Wrong link.
Probably.
All good. No worries. Obviously, next is really setting a goal and a stand. What?
Can I interrupt? I think that might have been DJ. I removed him. Maybe he's with Marco. No?
No, they live across the country.
Oh, okay.
All right. Where was I going? Next is, there's DJ. Next is really setting your goals and setting the intent of what this team really stands for, not only in Vegas, but the culture we're trying to create within our organizations and obviously your organizations as well. You know, Ron says it best, there's 1,000 ways to lead, pick one. And I absolutely love that quote because each and every single one of you guys bring something new and something really incredible to your guys' organizations that you guys are creating. So my number one tip is be you. My number two tip is really set a goal and stick to the action plan and the steps that it's going to take to reach that goal starting tomorrow. And obviously, each and every single one of your guys' goals should be influencer by Rumble. However, if you're at Mover, let's reach for Shaker and then go from there. But if you're at Shaker, let's reach for influencer. If you're at producer, let's reach for Mover. Obviously, it's the ladder of success. So I'm super excited to really go through and break these things down. Lori and I have had long conversations. I call her Lori, Mama Court, Lori. We've had long conversations about really what to bring and how we want to really portray ourselves coming into Rumble. And I think, and the one thing I want you guys to know is this is by no means a dictatorship whatsoever. Hence the reason that we created the leader chat with our leaders down. It's Mom, Tom, or Mother, or Queen Bee. Oh, all right. Thanks, David. I'll remember that for next time. But one thing I want you guys to understand is that this is by no means a dictatorship where it's like Lori says something, it's like, oh, shoot, I got to do it. The reason for creating the leadership group is because, like I said, we all bring something very valuable within our organizations that we are all willing to share with each other. All right, you guys are driving me insane down there. I don't know how to say designated driver, account, I can keep going, accountant, you know, so calendar woman, so on and so forth. But anyways, let's get back on track. So real quick before I pass it over to Lori, number one, make sure your goal is set tomorrow. And again, I highly recommend, and this is what Lori and I are going to do, or Queen Bee or Mama Court. This is what we're going to do is we're going to press the power button tomorrow for the fact that we do not want to lose those 6 days at the end of June because we will be in Rumble. Does that make sense? Yes? No? Awesome. Secondly, create that goal and understand the steps that you're going to need to take all of May to reach that goal. So again, I'm going to reiterate, if you're at Mover, let's reach for Shaker. If you're at Shaker, let's reach for influencer, so on and so forth. And let's start holding each other accountable to the goals that we're out there trying to reach. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it over to Laura. We have some exciting announcements, some amazing incentives, along with a little direction of, like I said, how we want to portray ourselves from this organization down, what we're going to stand for. You know, I'll give you a quick summary of things like showing up on time to events or showing up 30 minutes early, being unified, sitting together, making sure our teams are together, promotion, family culture, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Lori. Mom, I love you. Go ahead and take it away. And again, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for everything you're doing. It is outstanding the growth that you guys are having. And I just can't wait to physically meet most of you in Vegas. So
yeah, thanks so much, Tom. Does everybody understand, or maybe you guys can help me understand, to push the power button tomorrow, do we have to make a new purchase? No. Okay. So I agree with that. I hope you all do understand the reasoning behind that. There's a couple of little tidbits I want to share with you that I've gotten from the top about this team, like not Luke, Ben, and their team, but this team. Our team is currently within Malat's organization, the one that's duplicating the most consistently and the one that has the best retention. And so I'm really, really happy about that. And you guys should be too. It is a true testament to what we build together. Okay. I do believe, and I keep a pretty good finger on the pulse of what's going on, that our culture surpasses most, and that our commitment surpasses most teams that we're able to see. And I'm really proud of that, because that is not something that we had to instill in any of you. You already had it. You already have it. And that means that that is true leadership. And it's why every single person on this call and the two that are missing are all in sizzle right now. Okay. And there's people, there's not nobody that deserves it more than you guys from this squad. Totally not. So a couple of the things that we were hoping to sort of start to really ingrain into our culture is a few things that I believe will set us apart and help us stand out in a really positive manner. And so based on the last event, David was there, Tom was there. I think that you boys can agree that the idea of our team like straggling in and me trying to save 30 seats and that not happening, and then having people all over the room, and we just didn't have it together. And there's always going to be people that are late. And so one of the things that I think is very important, and again, Dane, you may remember this too, there was a group back in our first company led by a gentleman named Jed, and their culture was second to none in terms of unification. It's one that I have always wanted to be able to emulate. I don't want to do it to the degree that Jed did. They would come in and like all of the girls would be in navy blue, like skirts and jackets. They would have their own twist on it. All the guys would be like, you could tell, you knew who was from Jed's team. You could be in a sea of 10,000 people and know that person's on Jed's team, that person's on Jed's team. And they, I don't even know how they pulled it off, honestly, but they would get 500 seats together. And I'm like, what? And the reason why is because they all showed up to the lobby 30 to 40 minutes before an event started, and they got in line together. Like, you didn't have 4 people, 50 people back, or people showing up 10 minutes late. And that culture to this day is remembered as the most significant culture in VEMA, aside from the YPR, which was a much broader thing. And so, at the risk of, I don't want to do all that, but what I really think, and I hope you guys agree, and I really like to get your input on it, is that we really should set a standard. We're small enough at this point. We'll probably see from our squads, Tom and I were guessing 30 people, and I really want you guys to kind of give us a count today. I think it would be easy to pull 30 people together in the lobby 45 minutes before an event, and get in line together and go in and be together at the event. And it just sets a standard, and it sets an expectation that people want to be a part of a group. They really do. And so that's one thing. The second thing that we'd really like to ingrain is being a culture of encouragement. regardless of whether they're our team or not. One of my pet peeves for a long time in this industry, but I see it in Euphoria too, is that you'll see a post especially on Facebook, even on Telegram though, where somebody gets welcomed into the group, and you can see that 28 people have seen the post, but 4 have liked it. Okay, it's a click, right? However, the click isn't enough. It's not enough. If our team is the team that says, welcome to the squad, great decision, whatever it is, 2 words, right? It doesn't take any time at all. Now that person feels like they became a part of something. The bigger thing is, though, is it sets a standard, and it's the exact same treatment that we would like to have when we welcome people. Right? Like I hate it when I have to go out and solicit people to be encouraging and welcome our new member. That is not what this is about. This is about a community of people who want to welcome others. And so I think that should be a non-negotiable in our teams. And I think you guys should ingrain that in your teams, that every single post somebody ranks. We should be the team that's like, great job. I mean, it's important. And I think it's one of the most important things. We all know recognition. People will work harder for a medal than they will for money every time. And so, basically what we want is to be able to share these ideas with you guys, find out how we can improve on them, and then have you go to your individual teams and do this exact same thing. Right? So that you are actually leading your groups in the same direction. And guess what happens? They now want to be part of this group, just like you guys, are now part of the Rising Stars. And we're just going to see this trickle down effect where you eventually will become the people that people 6, 7 levels under you can't wait to meet. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to see duplication like that, where you are looked at as, damn it, I can't wait to get to Vegas so I can meet Dave. Can't wait to get to Vegas so I can meet DJ or Michelle or David. You know what I mean? And so that is it. The only way to do it is to start by thinking about others before we think about ourselves. And so it has to start there. And so I'd like to just open up the lines really quickly on that. I know, David, you had an idea when you and I spoke about this, about having some form of growth being a part of it too, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about what your thoughts are there. So I mean, if we had just like 3 benchmarks that we taught our teams every time they came to the table, every time somebody new joined, this is what our team is about, this is what you're a part of, and this is what we want you to invite people to be a part of. And so so I don't know, just open up the lines, let us know how you feel about those couple things, and if you guys have any ideas to improve on that.
You want to lay down the 3 things that you originally said, just so we can kind of have a foundation.
Yep. So we want to be a culture of unity, where anytime that we have events like the regionals, or where the entire teams are brought together, that we are in the lobby 40 minutes early, in line together, sitting together, supporting each other. So unity, encouragement, right? And did I say 3? And timely. I think timely is the
I think you said those 2, and then I think I made the 3rd statement, which was growth.
Growth. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, timely is another thing, guys. Just if I could just elaborate on that for 1 second. When we're on calls, all of you guys are already really good about this, but just making sure your teams know this too. 2 to 3 minutes early is on time. 2 to 3 minutes after is late, and sets a really bad example, because what do you do when you get on? You scroll to see who's on. Right? And then you see, one of your top leaders pop in at 9:05. That's not cool. Like, it just doesn't, we have to set the example. Luke said it today on the call. They will do what you do, not what you tell them to do, what you do. So, yeah. So anyway, so David, go ahead and pipe in and let us know what you think.
Yeah. So my angle is obviously not everyone's goal is money, and it's not one of the biggest impacts. If money was really the number one impact when it came to most people in network marketing, most people wouldn't be in network marketing, because most people don't make an incredible amount of money. But what it does do, one of the most foundational of longevity is growth. And community and growth are 2 foundational, pivotal pillars that create long-term stable retention, because people feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves, and they feel like they're in something that makes them better. And that may not always be financial. If you make the foundational pivotal point financial, you're in a dangerous place, because that's only one of the 6 areas to life. And so you are taking out 70% of your influence by only speaking about money. I mean, you have physical life, you have mental life, you have spiritual life, you have community, you got relationships, and you got business. And if you make money being one of the structures, not saying it's not important, but when you make it growth, whether that's financial growth or physical growth or spiritual growth, mental growth, you make that the pivotal point on top of community. Those two create retention. That's what creates retention all day long. And so I like the idea of having 3 main pivotal statements that doesn't matter who you're going to, what's going on. They know going in, because like everyone coming in from here on out, they don't know what they're expecting. No one knows. So at any point in time, we can rebrand and create an environment that creates focus. And when you make the focus growth and community, that is something that can be held for long term. So that's always something that I want to always make a pivotal mark, because people don't quit on family, they quit business partners. Like when you create that foundational family, I mean, that's why the Courts, in the last 6 years of knowing them inside of network marketing, they've always had some of the highest retention I've ever witnessed. Why? Because they never come in as we're business partners, we come in as we're family. Now, learning that happy medium between family and like coddling has been the next step to grow faster. But that is something that I always like. Long-term stable residual, like that's always been a pivotal statement to me, where I think having growth being a foundational principle is just important. So yeah,
David, I love that, and you're absolutely right. And I think that there is a happy medium. I think that there are people here that all of us, I mean, we love the family dynamic and we also want to make money. However, we have had people in our business for 6 years that some have made almost nothing, and they're still here. And so maybe the way that we'll put more thought into it, and you guys can toss around some ideas, but maybe it's something along the lines of, when people come in, we automatically turn them on to a book, like one book that everybody reads when they first come, you know what I mean? To encourage it and to give them some direction in growth, rather than just, saying, okay, well, spiritually, whatever. So, but I'm sure that there is a way, and I love that too. What do you guys think?
Yeah, can I add on to that too? David, I love absolutely everything you just said. And one thing I really want to add on to that, and what you just said, Lori, is that a book is awesome. Whether it's GoPro by Eric Worre, whether it's, Think and Grow Rich, whatever it is we decide. However, I also want to point out a leadership standpoint for you guys, where it's like your teams are growing, and everyone on this call is very knowledgeable in the growth aspect of life, and although we have not used the Facebook page as much as we would like, which we're transitioning to right now, I highly recommend, don't be afraid to post. And this is for me too. I'm not just, calling the kettle black. This is for us too. Don't be afraid to start branding yourselves as leaders. Maybe throwing out a minute or a minute and a half tip of the day, or maybe going out and doing a Facebook Live, or just a good morning encouragement message. Really start branding yourselves as very knowledgeable in the growth aspect. Again, this is for us too. I'm saying the general collective, where I think David does a fabulous job of branding himself as a leader in the personal development growth aspect, where it's like he knows what he's talking about. Think about Luke on the sizzle calls, right? The reason Luke does the sizzle calls, obviously, it's to help all of us, but not only is it helping us, it's also helping him learn the material more and more and more and more and more and more, and better and better and better and better. So I don't care if it's a quick, you're reading, where's my book? Here. I don't care if you're reading, dropped on the ground, Think and Grow Rich, and something resonates with you, you want to just post about it. but I highly recommend really starting to brand yourselves, obviously within this organization, but as the leaders you are, because not only you look at some of the people on the sizzle calls, they're amazing people. However, they're still in the following role. They're still followers, and I'm just being blunt and honest, right? But I believe that the leaders on this call right here have the ability to get out of being a follower and into leading an organization, having their own organization start to follow them, right? Because what you're going to see, I know for people brand new in this industry, is that for the people that continue to follow, they're going to follow forever. I still follow Luke. He's a mentor of mine. That's how it's going to go. However, I also have learned how to teach. And that's something that I want you guys to start really understanding. And it can be at whatever pace you want it to be, whether it's fast, slow, so on and so forth. My only point is, let's start branding ourselves as the leaders we are within this organization. So again, tips of the day, encouragement messages, so on and so forth. So I'm just out there as well. But David, you hit it on the head, man. Community and growth is 100% everything to retention in this industry.
Mm-hmm. It is. And the branding, guys, the big thing you have to remember is perception is reality. That's all it is. So what the people you're already working with know about you is that you are their leader. I mean, you guys are all leaders. There's no question about it. What you want to do though, and I'm not good at it either, but is to have all of the new people, even if they're not on your team, see that you are stepping into a role like that, right? And again, it encourages people to do the same. And so I think that if you guys are cool with that, I think those three things are really what we should stand for and make sure that we are just breeding it into our teams. Are you guys cool with those three things? Okay, cool. So that is the first thing. The second thing is I would encourage all of you to get together, big team, small team, a couple people, whoever your leaders are. I wouldn't bring your entire teams to the mix yet. I would power down, even if it's once a week you get together with, for Michelle, Debbie and Crystal or whoever it is, and share these same ideas, share some of the sizzle ideas that really resonated with you and start to really take on that role. So the next thing we want to talk about is the power bonus. And guys, without question, we need every single person. You need something, Dane? Did you want to say something?
Yeah, you were talking about the power bonus earlier, and from my understanding, anybody who's in now is grandfathered in just by pressing the button. However, making a new purchase, a 3, 5, or 10 pack, unlocks that 40% matching in your first level. If you buy a 3-pack, you get all 3 packs in 1 pack. If you buy a 5-pack, you get 5 3s and 1s, and so forth. So that's, according to my understanding, I think we're all grandfathered in. We can make another purchase to unlock that 40% though.
I think you're absolutely right on that. And guys, the big thing here is that the run for influence, without question, everybody on this call should be influencer before we head into Rumble. Like it should be an all out sprint, whatever it takes. And I think it starts personally with the Recruit 20 in 30 days. I mean, you pretty much lock it in if you can bring 20 new purchases to the table. Yep. And the thing is that they don't all have to be nutritionists. Let's just get some kits sold. Let's just go out there and play the numbers. And it has to be like a non-negotiable that this will happen. And the thing is that what happens when that happens? Your team wins too, right? I mean, you're not going to do it alone. And so that the more you do, the more they will do every time. So with that in mind, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, let me just add on to that as like a personal testimony. Is like the first time I've ever heard Recruit 20 in 30 days, I was like, they're outside of their mind. I've been in this industry for 7 years. And for my course of 7 years, I've probably recruited 30, maybe 40 people in all the different companies I was in and all the organizations I've built. Lori and I, for the first time ever, just made a decision to recruit 20 in 30 days. And that was the month we hit influencer, the first month. Like, it is a non-negotiable, all-out, massive run to push that volume. But what's so interesting about that is that when you're the one out there recruiting, you know the volume is being pushed. You're not depending on any duplication or anyone else doing it for you. So that's just a personal testimony that we have personally done it for the first time in our careers, and what Eric Worre's system says works. So
for sure. And guys, the interesting part about that, and this is honestly said with all humility, is we didn't start that run until the 16th of the month. So we did 20 people in 15 days. And it honestly was all we did. And it's hard to do. I get it. But it's the same thing that you hear all the time. It's just bust your ass for as long as you can moving forward till June 27th. That's all it is, and get there and then breathe, they just enjoy Vegas. So anyway, so pretty much a non-negotiable. And so I would power down as much as you can, get people going, get them excited. So for you guys though, we have an incentive. So what I really want to do is I want it to be, both of us want it to be, so that you walk on stage as an influencer. Guys, being at this event as an influencer in the first 5 months of the company is a big flippin' deal. You will be at the pool party. That pool party, 50 people, 60 people maybe, with Eric and Ron and just everybody, just like, what does that mean to you in this company when this company's $1 billion? Like, what does that mean? Like, think about that. Think about how massive that is to be one of the very first 100 people to hit influencer in this company. This company is going to $1 billion. We know it. Like it feels like it just, I don't know. It's hard to put into words what's actually going to happen here. However, you guys, you need this. You need to do this for you. You need to be there. And nothing would make us more proud than to have you there, And so this is what we'd like to do. So there are no room blocks in Vegas, okay? And some of this information you're going to want to make sure you know so that you can embark it, pass it on to your team. The company is not doing any room blocks at all. And so, but they have been able to negotiate a corporate rate because they have plenty of their own people, right, who are going. And so I talked with Craig the other day and I'm like, so what's going on with the room blocks? And he's like, well, there aren't any. He goes, but I've put aside a room for you and Tom. And I said, well, that's just not going to be enough. We need more. And so he went out of his way and he secured 3 more rooms at their corporate rate at Caesars. Now there's some caveats here. The first thing is the rooms at Caesars are $159 a night. They sleep 4 plus tax and resort fees. So without really knowing what that is, I'm just calling it $200 a night. And it's $50 per person per night, okay? And the least amount of the stay is going to be Thursday night, okay? People should get in on Thursday because the meet and greet is that night, Friday night, and Saturday night, potentially leaving Sunday. So for those 3 nights, first of all, who on this call needs a room? Michelle, you already pulled one of them. David, do you need one of those rooms for you guys? That's a yes. Okay, DJ, how about you? Do you need one of those rooms for? Okay, so that means all 5 rooms right now are spoken for. And the only way that I really want to give them to you guys is if you promise you'll fill them, 3 to 4 people. Okay, like I don't want a single person taking up one of those rooms. It's not fair.
I even recommend more than 4 people, truthfully.
Well, however you guys want to do it. However, for you, and I know, Dane, your situation is a little different, but for you, when you hit influencer, on top of all the money corporate paid you, all your commissions and your bonuses, we will take care of your stay. Okay, so you will not have a hotel fee. It'll be on Tom and I if you hit influencer. And so at that point, your team can still pay the $50 a night. So it's still win-win for them. And then you guys will not have any accommodation fees while you're there. So hopefully that gives you a little added bonus to be able to be in the host hotel, which is a big deal, Now, David actually looked at some rooms across the street, and I have some thoughts on that. I know Tom has some thoughts on that, David. At Treasure Island across the street, and also I think, David, you looked into Trump, the rooms are less expensive. However, with the unity factor and with the idea that this Rumble is going to be like the first major event of this company, people should not stay outside the host hotel. That's my opinion. For $50 a night, I think that they should be just immersed in this culture. And I'm telling you, how many people here have been, you've all been to a big event, you too, Michelle? For any company ever? Oh my God, you're going to be mind blown. You're going to be mind blown. So when you are at an event like this, everywhere you go, there are people, and there is an automatic connection. I remember in Vima, when the YPR days were going, you would go through the airport on the way to an event, and you would just see somebody with a YPR hat on, and it would be an instant their family. It'd be like, Vima, YPR, blah, blah. People would go crazy, and they didn't even know each other. And it's like that. And so there's nothing better than staying at a host hotel, which is why I'd like to get more rooms. But at this point, I need to make sure these 5 are filled. And so if you are committed to a room, I need a thumbs up, and that means you're going to fill it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's all of us. And then Dane, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have a little different situation with Jenna, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
Dane has the ability to stay at grandma's, which is nothing. However, when you hit influencer, it's nothing, right? So we're going to plan on you either being in my room maybe, or Tom's room, and Jenna can, whatever, we'll figure it out, or I can try to get another room if you think you can fill.
Okay. Sounds good. I was in a group message earlier, and I was saying that I'm just going to pitch on a room anyways, so that, because the first time I ever went to a convention, I had $20 in my name, and somebody bought my plane ticket, and somebody covered my hotel, and people paid for food when I was there, and it changed my whole life, just that whole family culture, like you're saying. So I want to add to that. I don't care. I'll throw money just so somebody has a place to stay. I'm cool.
That's awesome.
Either way.
That's awesome.
Either way.
Hello, Harkers. We're recording. How are ya?
Hi, good.
Hi.
Hey, sorry, we were moving.
No, that's okay. It's no problem at all. We recorded it for you because I had a feeling something came up, so we'll make sure you get the full recording, but stick with us.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so anyway, so that is your added incentive from us, and there might even be another surprise or two along the way. So just kind of keep your nose to the grindstone, and let's just really get to work as a team. Now, we have a few more surprises. Well, wait, before we move on from that, I would encourage you guys to go power down to who you're working with, like who are your next leaders, right? Who's coming up behind you? Power down to them, and the incentive doesn't have to be that big or small or whatever, but give them an incentive. Give them something. Okay, they don't even have to be necessarily attending the event to still hit the power button and hit influencer. Right? So for those people, that we have people like Debbie Jew who just hit mover who cannot make the event. And it's sad because we're going to wish she was there and she's going to wish she was there. However, she can be incentivized, right? To hit influencer, hit the power button, go for those bonuses. Find a way to incentivize your team. Okay, they makes them feel good. And so I would encourage you to do that. Now, the next thing is that during the event, there is, I had a talk with Ron, Tom and I both, and we were talking a little bit about, like, how do you become independent of a bigger entity like Milat's team, but without becoming a lone wolf? Okay, because we have to do that. We have to breed independence while keeping people in a community. And so he was sharing a few things with us, and one of the things that that he told me is exactly up my alley, and it's something that I'm really passionate about, and it's just doing special events within events, right? And so as a team, we are going to be doing some things during the event that will not have any conflict with what they have going, and there are some special surprises here too. I want you to know about them, but I don't want the teams to know. Okay, so that you can really make sure people are excited about getting there with special surprises in the works. However, please do not share the special surprises, okay? And so the first thing is, this is the way that the event runs. So Thursday is the meet and greet. My assumption is the meet and greet will be similar to what it was when we were there in January, which is they'll have some light hors d'oeuvres, non-alcoholic drinks. You go down, you rub some shoulders, you meet some people, you say hello, but you don't stay for 3 hours. You stay for like an hour, and I think we were all back doing something else within about an hour. And so people will be arriving at all different times. However, that evening, we're going to have kind of like a power hour, which is going to prime the pipes for coming into the weekend as a team. At that power hour, this may be the only time that we see the bigger entity come together, which is like Luke and Ben and those guys and Blake. And the reason is, and David and Dane, this is a surprise for all of you. However, you'll understand the reason. It may have a little something to do with what we did at the Watauga Regional, which was very powerful at the end, if you remember. Okay, and so that we would really want the entire organization to be able to participate in that. It is very, very, very special. And so I will share that with you once I for sure have it nailed down. However, that's going to be something that we're going to try to do late enough that our late arrivals, there it is, yep, our late arrivals will be able to participate. Okay, so we'll probably see a bigger group for that. I need to secure some kind of room at Caesars. The company has not and will not be doing that. And so that's a little factor I have to play with. So that'll happen on Thursday. That'll get everybody ready to go into the U of U. The U of U is Friday, and Friday after that they have the hypnotist, the entertainment, all of that's available to everybody. It's included in your ticket. You're not obligated to those special things. However, of course, Friday morning we'll be downstairs at 40 minutes before, meeting in the lobby, getting in line together and heading into the event. Saturday, the exact same process, right? We get together, Eric Worre will speak, and I just got confirmation right before this call that I'm going to try to get reservations in the hotel for lunch as a team, okay? However, Ron will be coming and joining us for a portion of that lunch just to meet you guys all face to face when he's focused on us and we can celebrate you. Okay, and yeah, it's important. It's going to be really easy for you to walk up and say, hi, I'm Michelle, hi, I'm DJ, and him to want to know who you are and have 50,000 other people around him, right? So he has agreed to come and do that for us on Saturday. Details are not worked out yet. However, it's really important to us that he knows who you are and that we start to really nurture those relationships with you and he. We've had the opportunity to get to know him pretty well, and he's open to that. However, if nobody takes the time to make sure he knows that you are the ones, it's not going to ever happen. And so he's going to be joining us for a portion of that lunch, and we're going to make sure he knows all of your names and everybody gets a chance to spend some time with him. So that's Saturday. Again, not something you should share with your teams, not quite yet. I still have to make the reservations and get all the pieces in place. It is going to happen. I just don't know where, when, etc. And that's going to be kind of a special surprise. Now, Saturday night is the glow in the dark party. Again, optional, be there. It's all white. Find something to wear, all white, guys. Everybody dresses in white. So we won't be doing anything as a team that evening other than that. Now, this does not mean that after these glow-in-the-dark parties, we can't get together in a room or a lobby, do a Y circle. All of that is up in the air. You can do it by yourselves. We can do it together. But there has to be some free time, obviously. So Sunday, in the morning, Sunday is a leader-led event, and I think it closes at 1. And we will round it out with like a farewell coffee or something like that, where somewhere in Caesars we'll figure that out. And this is what's going to happen. It's going to be information overload. It's going to be overstimulation for an entire weekend. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be educational. There's going to be so much that happens, and people are going to be wiped out, but they won't know what to actually do leaving that event. I mean, they've been told, but they won't have an action. They need action steps. Okay, this is what we do. We leave this event, and you have a DMO where you talk to 5 people a day for the next 30 days. You brand yourself every day. So whatever that is. So we will get together as a leadership group sometime Sunday morning or before this happens, and we will figure out what's our expectation for this team, right? Who's where? What's your expectation? What are your goals? And then we'll develop an action plan and action steps going out of that event that we can share with the team. So then for those of you who know anybody on the West Coast, Monday is a travel day, and there are David, Demetrius, myself, Tom, Luke, and Maddie, Dane, Wyatt, and Lexi. Dane, Wyatt, and Lexi are throwing a pre-launch ribbon cutting party for the actual launch of their business on July 2nd, which is Tuesday, at a hotel close to their house. Dane, I just got confirmation that Ron will be Zooming in for that. And so, so we will have plenty of speakers. I'm sure that I can get Joel Guerin too. It just might be overkill. We'll talk more about that. However, we're going to want to put together a really beautiful professional flyer. Anybody you guys know out in the Pacific West Coast that would want to attend this event, and you're going to be branding the entire weekend, right? You know, like you want to see this for yourself, get to Oregon, get here, get there. So we're going to be working on really helping him populate that event and kicking off that business strong and with a lot of passion and a lot of energy. And I'm beyond proud of you guys for taking that on so soon after the event. It's going to be a blast. So that's what we have for you. That is the point of tonight, and really just encouraging you now to translate this and power down. Yeah, so open up the mics. Tell me what you guys think. Is there anything that you can add to this, that you have ideas? What have you got going in your brains?
I have a question, and I wonder if you guys have more information. On the last day, I think it's Sunday, when it's leadership from the field, is there a certain rank qualification that qualifies you for a time on stage?
I don't know that yet. So right now, my understanding, I know Malat is speaking, and I know Kelly and Tina and Travis Flaherty are speaking. That's already actually posted. If you go into euphorialive.com, you'll see the entire event schedule. You'll see exactly what's going on. And so Euphoria Live is our event site. And so there's more time. I don't know what that's going to be. So that is why Tom's recommendation about branding yourself is like really important. Because, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I remember when John Malat joined our call, Dane, you stuck out to him. I mean, he said it a couple times, you know, that like your energy just on this call was beyond anything he had seen, you know? So, I mean, you branded yourself right there, right? So he recognized you. Now, when you introduce yourself as Dane, it's an automatic, that's the kid, right? So that's what you guys want to do, is that exact same thing, is you want to get your face out there enough with some sort of niche. Michelle, you actually do a really good job of this too. You do it because of your field. Because you are a lab tech, you understand the health and the science behind it, and you do a really, really good job portraying that. I am not good at it. David's good at it. So really, most of you guys are good at it, except for me and Tom. so we don't know our niche. That's the problem. So but that's the idea, right? So then when they're considering, okay, so we have 50 influencer, who gets it? I don't know who that is. However, it's not going to be the person who wasn't out there. Let's put it that way. You know, so I'll try to find out, though. I'll try to find out what they're thinking. I don't know if that's presumptuous to like ask that question or what, though.
I don't either, and it's really not a big deal. I'm trying to paint pictures in minds of like these rank qualifications. Yes, there's incentives like free rooms and stuff, but like I've been in the crowd. I've been in the crowd with thousands of people watching these people on stage, and it's like, influencer, if it's not this event, it's going to be the next one. Yeah. One of these events, the qualification for 2 minutes on stage is going to be influencer. And that's what this culture, this whole organization is, as a industry, is about, is powering down. And like, to me, like that, I think everybody on this call could be on stage adding value to this entire culture. Easy.
Without question. And the other thing that I do
if not this next event.
For sure. Well, and I also know this. I know that what they're looking for. And part of the reason why you're seeing a lot of these small leadership groups pop up is because they're looking for a new wave. They're looking for success stories, okay? Like what drives a business at this point in the game? Success stories do. So, and they don't want it to be the same faces. I mean, how many times do you want to see Luke and I speak? You guys, we need you guys stepping up and doing it, you know? Like we need, that has to be part of the process for you, because what does that do? It already embeds in the minds of others that you are the next wave, right? It's all part of branding. And so I don't want to keep doing these calls all the time. I mean, they got to be sick of me. You know, like I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it too. You know what I'm saying? And so you just got to do it. You got to step out of your comfort zone. You got to be one of the faces. And so I know that that's what they're looking for. However, I do want to touch on that because there's going to be times during these team events where I don't want to be talking to this crowd, to our team. I want you guys to do that. I want to be able to introduce you and say, nothing makes me prouder than being able to bring DJ to up here to share with you like what this has done for him, what his tips are. You guys, we are stepping into the shadows.
Yeah, we definitely want you guys talking way more than us.
Yeah. So at these team events that we're doing, you know, aside from some introductions and aside from really painting you and edifying you as the leaders, you won't be hearing much from Tom and I. You know, so it's time. It's time for you guys to be it. And that's why you're on this call. You know, really, it really is. You guys are it. And so, and you're going to find your its too. And so, well, everybody's going to have an it. That's awesome. So anyway, yeah. So, so that's what it is, you know, and so we're going to give you a little time to mull it all over. Anybody have any other ideas, suggestions, anything? Everybody good? Okay, so this went a little longer than we thought, but we appreciate your time. So tomorrow resets the clock, right? Reset is the word, focus is the word. Let's just go out there, let's get it done. Anything that you need, anything. I don't care how many calls we have to do, anything, just please reach out. I want you to be influencer. I'm pretty sure we want it more than you want it. Just be there, get there, you know? So nothing to add, everybody's good? Oh, right on. Okay.
I would not oppose a recap of what it means to hit influence the event. You got the pool party, you got a free hotel room, you got 20 new people on your team, you got a residual income. That's pretty substantial. They're influencer by June, folks. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, $2,000 bonus on top of your commissions, free product the next month. You have 3 event tickets now. I will share this with you too. So today I was like, you know, so let's say somebody comes in June 1st, right? And they hit those first 2 benchmarks and now they've got 3 tickets to a Rumble that they don't really even know anybody and probably aren't going themselves, right? And Edwin said that he wouldn't, he didn't elaborate probably because I didn't ask. However, he said that there are more events that we don't know about yet that tickets will be back on the table. Yeah. So yeah.
And
so there's
and I talked to Kyle McGregor yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned to me that this pool party is going to be like nothing you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Have so many things up their sleeve for this pool party that he told me, quote unquote, get as many influencers as you can to the pool party.
Yeah. They have calls for with corporate for influencers and above, and we're really not at liberty to share much of it because as soon as it gets out, like it doesn't have the same impact, right? Just get to influencer, guys. Just don't put your heads down and don't look up and just hit influencer before this event. And so so we're just going to continue to do this. Make sure you're on the sizzle calls, make sure that you're keeping your head in the game, and make sure that you're reaching out if you need anything at all. So that's it. That's all of it. Cool. Right on, guys. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go and see my family, and I love you. I love you all. I think you're fabulous people, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. See you later.